And political analyst John Dadian joins us here once again this morning to talk about this race as we head into the final days before the primary. Does that Bloomberg endorsement mean anything in San Diego?
It doesn't hurt, but if I was a Fletcher strategist, I would have liked that a little bit early, because keep in mind, our system out here in California, we have absentee voting. 50% of the votes, the final votes for this election may be put in by absentee, so a lot of people have already voted.
Right.
So that might have made a difference a couple of weeks ago.
But you said an interesting thing. You said it doesn't hurt, and we've talked about this before. Endorsements can, in fact, hurt if people perceive the person doing the endorsing is not somebody they agree with. They might kind of like the candidate, they're on the fence, and they don't like the person. Now, Bloomberg, he just, isn't he the guy proposing no large sodas for anybody in New York?
I'll bet you the Fletcher campaign wish he would have done that a week later. So that's very controversial. What I think is good is that the good part of it is it does reinforce the Fletcher theme for their campaign. This is another person who got dissatisfied with the Republican Party, became independent, and he is the mayor of the largest city endorsing somebody who wants to be the mayor of the 8th largest city.
Okay. See, when you draw that connection, I wonder if the general voter out there will draw that same connection. But that's a direct line.
Absolutely.
To where Nathan Fletcher wants to go.
You betcha.
What are these candidates doing here in the last couple of days leading up to it? I know they keep saying this is the absolute last debate, and I think they're all going to be on the radio somewhere this morning, all four of them together again. When is the last debate, really?
Well, your lead story today was on the spelling bee that we have on one of our local who is a champ. The word I think that needs to be spelled by all the candidates for this weekend is intense. They are very nervous because many of our races, not just the mayor's race, but many of the races really could go either way going in the last couple of days. I think that's good. Of course, somebody who does what I do, that's the way it should be, but it's going to be very, very close, I think.
Any movement here in the last couple of days that you can see?
That it's clearly that undecided vote is shrinking appropriately so. And as you've seen the last week, the direct mail has really been increasing. They've even cut new commercials in the last couple of days. Okay. And they're doing that to make sure they get those last couple of votes in. They're leaving no stone unturned, and they can't when it gets this close. You
mentioned the direct mail, so I ducked out on you there while you were talking to just show this. Our own David Lyon brought these in. These are just, just samples of a few of the things that were in his mailbox. And he brought these in this morning and said, oh, you might be able to use these during your segment with John. Are people looking at these things? This is just one guy's mailbox over the last week or two.
Keep in mind, one of the major points why candidates and campaigns use direct mail over TV, or obviously in addition to TV, is because with direct mail, you can target specifically. You can say specifically, I want it to go to whatever you think your demographics are. High propensity voters, ones with 2.5 kids, any type that you can. Nowadays, you can target it very specifically. In TV, it's more of a shotgun approach, and you see only the larger campaigns, such as citywide for mayor. But some of the smaller races, such as assembly, such as that, they don't do TV as much as they do direct mail.
Let's put the mayor's race back in some kind of perspective once again, if we can. I mean, how crucial is this for San Diego going forward? I mean, is that position influential enough that folks should really be sitting down and taking some extra time and really putting a lot of thought and effort into this vote?
Absolutely. Look at some of our major open races for mayor in the past history. In 2000, that was a race that was very close. Ron Roberts in the primary came in first. Dick Murphy came in second, but he came in a close second, so close we didn't know for 3 or 4 weeks. Dick Murphy ended up winning, and keep in mind, do you remember the name Enron by the Sea?
Right.
If we would have had a different candidate, I don't think we'd ever would have had that name. So this really is that important. You're deciding, people, the 8th largest city, are deciding who is going to be their leader for at least the next 4 years. I think it's one of the most important races we've had in decades.
Okay. That puts it into some kind of perspective. So we'll see you either leading up to Tuesday or shortly thereafter. And we're still expecting a runoff. You don't think anybody's got any chance of getting 50%?
No, race? But it's interesting that, for example, Carl DeMaio's considered the leader. He put some more money in just yesterday, or just within the last couple of days. So he's leaving nothing to chance, and that's the way it should be. So this is going to be close.
All right, political analyst John Dadian. Always good to see you. Have a great weekend, and next week will be a busy week.
It will.
All right, thanks.